welcome back and thank you for watching. In today's video, I'm going to show you how you can make some easy fall decor DIYs using the Cricut Maker. So thank you so much Cricut for sponsoring today's video. So I really hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you do, please give this video a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't already, and don't forget to hit the notification bell button so you can get notified every time I upload. With that being said, now let's craft. Starting with my favorite DIY from Dollar Tree, I'm going to use this chunky wood piece, these DIY pumpkins, and this pumpkin. I decided to make my own wood pumpkin using this Amazon wood circle. Dollar Tree does carry wood pumpkins, but I couldn't find any, so I decided to make my own, and I wanted everything to be made out of wood. This is the only reason I am doing my own wood pumpkin, but you can always use the back of this decor sign. So I'm going to start by tracing the pumpkin using a pencil. Then I'm going to use my wire cutters to cut it. So because these aren't meant to cut wood, it came a little bit rough. So I'm going to use a piece of scent sheet to just smooth it out. And then I'm going to paint this using some white chalk. And the stem using my Waverly chalk paint in the color Truffle. To make some details to the pumpkin, I will be mixing a little bit of white paint with the Waverly Antique Wax. Once I am done and I like how it looks, I'm going to just set it aside and let it dry. Now I'm going to paint the small little pumpkins. 2 of them are going to be white, and then 2 I am going to paint them using the color Golden Sunset mixed with a little bit of ivory. And I'm going to paint the stems using the color Truffle. To add some details to the pumpkin, I will be mixing the Waverly Antique Wax with the ivory. And I'm going to do that to all 4 of the small pumpkins. The next thing I will be doing is going to my Cricut design space, and I'm going to search for pumpkin patch, which it has so many different designs that you can choose and customize to your own style. I really like this one that said welcome to our patch. Next thing I will be doing is just sizing it to the size of the big pumpkin, and for the small pumpkins I'm going to add initials to this. So I chose a font that I really like, and I also size it. The color of the vinyl I will be using is called Bracken, which is this beautiful brown. Now that I have my images, I'm going to just weed them out, which is very easy and so satisfying. Now I'm going to transfer welcome to our patch to the big pumpkin, and I will be using the Cricut transfer tape. As you can see, I did place the welcome to our patch more towards the top. I do want some room at the bottom because I am going to add the smaller pumpkins. Now I'm going to just add the initials to the pumpkins. Then I'm going to make some small little jute twine bows and add them to each of the small pumpkins. Now that I have all of my pieces done, I'm going to put this DIY together. I'm going to start by gluing the big pumpkin to the wood slat. Now I did paint this using a little bit of the antique wax mixed with the ivory. I decided to add some Jenga blocks to the back so like that it can be nice and sturdy. The small pumpkins, I'm going to glue them to the front of the wood slat. Now I did have to overlap these so it can fit. There is a small space between the small pumpkins and the pumpkin behind it, so I decided to add some fall floral picks. To finish this off, I'm going to add some leaves and a jute twine bow to the big pumpkin. And that is it, guys. That is it for this welcome to our patch DIY, which I think it turned out beautiful. It is my favorite one. For my next DIY, I'm going to use an old piece of wood that I had. I'm going to paint it using some white chalk paint. I'm going to set this aside and let it dry. Now I'm going to go to my Cricut design space and I'm going to type pumpkin. And I honestly just scroll down to I see this image that I fell in love with. It says pumpkins and it has two pumpkins on the top. And then I size it to the size of the wood piece. The vinyl I will be using for this is this beautiful mustard color and this brown, which is called bracken. I'm going to ungroup these so like that I can, the part that is orange, I'm gonna print it out with the mustard color, and then the rest is going to be that brown color. So I am going to just place them by side like this. And one thing I did delete was the little stems because I just painted those. I'm going to start by transferring the word pumpkins first using the Cricut transfer tape. Then I'm going to transfer the mustard pumpkins and then I'm going to layer the other ones right on top, which honestly this is my first time layering them and it's so easy. I thought it was going to be hard, but no. And I think it looks so beautiful when things are layered. And also, instead of putting the pumpkins on the top, I did put them on the side. Since I didn't print out the little stems, I decided to paint them myself and I'm using some green paint. To finish this off, I'm going to add some little jute twine bows I'm gonna make using some jute string. And that is it, guys. That is it for this pumpkin sign, which I think it turned out beautiful. For my next DIY, I will be using a Michael's wood frame that cost me $1 and a pumpkin. This comes from a pumpkin garland that I got from Walmart. I'm going to start by painting the pumpkin. Just dry painting it just to give it some more texture to it using some white chalk paint. Then I'm going to paint the frame using some white chalk paint. I went back to Cricut Design Space and found this beautiful image that says give thanks. Now, as you can see, there's two different colors. I do want the give thanks to be with the brown vinyl and the leaves to be with that mustard color. So I am going to group them and then weld them together. So like that, when I print them out, they're going to come out in the same mat. Now for the vinyl, I am going to put them a brown piece on one side and the mustard piece on the other side. And this is how they look. Now I'm going to add the pumpkin first. So I am going to add the pumpkin right on top of the heart. This is going to cover it, and then I'm going to add the give thanks right on top of the pumpkin. The leaves, I'm going to add them one on one side and then the other on the other side. And to finish this off, I'm going to make a jute twine bow and add it to the pumpkin. And that is it, guys. That is it for this give thanks sign, which I absolutely love, and it turned out so beautiful. For my next DIY, I will be reusing this Dollar Tree bamboo cutting board. I did paint this using the Waverly Antique Wax. And I'm going to use these little latte or coffee little cup thingies. These are from Dollar Tree as well. I'm only using one, and 8 come in a pack. I'm going to start by drawing where like the whipped cream is at in the cup, and then I'm going to paint the cup using the golden sunset color, and then like the whipped cream, I'm going to paint it white. So after this was dry, I didn't like how that looked, like the hole on top, so I decided to add some spackle all over. And I didn't even let this dry either. All I did was just paint over it using some white chalk paint. I went back to Cricut Design Space and I looked for an image that said pumpkin spice and a little pumpkin. I did size it down first to the size of the bamboo cutting board, then I printed it out. I am going to start by transferring the little pumpkin to the mug first, and then I'm going to transfer the word pumpkin spice to the cutting board. So looking at the little mug, I thought it looked too plain. So using the same vinyl, I didn't print anything out. I just cut 2 little stripes and I did add them to the mug, like one on top of the pumpkin and one underneath it. And that is it, guys. That is it for this pumpkin spice sign. I think it will look so beautiful on a coffee bar. And that is it for these beautiful fall decor DIYs using my Cricut Maker. I really hope you guys have enjoyed today's video, and if you did, please give this video a thumbs up, and until next time, bye.